In this video, I'll teach you everything you need to know about Amazon ads, and I'll explain the strategy that allowed me to run and scale my business to over $50,000 in royalties in the last year. So whether you're a beginner or you're someone who's struggling with Amazon ads, this video will have the answers to address any of the problems you might be having. So let's get right into it. So first, let's talk about why we should run ads. So the most obvious reason is simply that it allows us to get more sales. However, more importantly, ads are a tool which allows us to establish our presence in the marketplace and push our book up in the ranking. The higher we are in the ranking, the more visibility our book is going to have, which will convert into more organic sales. On Amazon, it doesn't really matter whether the sale came organically or it came from ads. It contributes to overall ranking in the exact same way. Even in situations where ads are running at break even, they are still increasing the profitability of our books as they're helping our ranking, which drives organic sales. So there's absolutely no reason not to run them. However, there's some key things we need to know before we start. Before you set up your ad campaigns and start throwing money on marketing, there are some things you need to understand. Amazon ads do not sell our books. They simply allow us to pay to put our books in front of more customers' eyes. No matter how much money you throw at it, if the customers do not want to buy our book, you will not get sales. It's extremely important you only start advertising once you know the book listing is good. No strategy in the world will work if you have a bad book listing. However, if you have an amazing book listing, even a poor ad setup will allow you to make sales profitably. Additionally, it's important to understand that there is not one perfect way to set up ads in order to guarantee success. Running ads usually involves testing, experimentation, and constant adjustments as the market changes dynamically. A lot of people think there's some secret strategy to it all. There isn't. It's all trial and error, and at the heart of it all is publishing in the right niche and having a very good book listing. You'll understand why it's so important in a minute. How do Amazon ads actually work? Firstly, let's talk about the possible placements of our ads on Amazon. The first one being the search results, and there's multiple places where we can find our ads featured. The prime location being at the top of first page, just below the search bar. Ads can additionally be featured in the middle of the page, as well as at the bottom of the page. Another potential placement for our ads is on the product page. In order to secure those placements, Amazon essentially runs an auction between all the books running ads to determine whether a spot is allocated, and if so, where. This is based on a number of parameters: the bid amount, the keyword relevance, the click-through rate, meaning how many people click on the ad upon seeing it, as well as the likelihood of converting to a click. So if your book is already getting attention from customers and has a good click-through rate in a given keyword, the algorithm is likely to allow you to win more auctions in order to showcase your book. On the contrary, if your book is achieving low click-through rate, the algorithm will think that your book is either irrelevant to the keyword or it's not very attractive to the customers and will punish you for that and award you less impressions. This is why, like I said earlier, it's very important to have a good book listing. Not only will it allow us to run our ads more profitably, we will also have the Amazon ads algorithm on our side. So what makes a good book listing? A good book listing means it's in a keyword that is relevant and high in demand. The book needs to have an attractive book cover and title. It needs to grab customers' attention. It has to stand out from the crowd. We need to have a solid description and A+ content, which will build trust and increase conversions. Additionally, positive reviews will act as social proof to confirm the book is good, seeing as other customers are satisfied. In a minute, I'm going to tell you about the different types of Amazon ads and how to set them up. But let's just quickly go over some key metrics which we need to be familiar with when talking about ads. CPC, cost per click. This is what we pay when the customers click our ad. CTR, also known as click-through rate. It's the percentage amount of people who click on our ad when they see it. If out of 100 impressions we get 2 clicks, that means we have a click-through rate of 2%. ACoS stands for advertising cost of sales. It's a metric that measures the profitability of our ad campaign. This varies depending on the book, profit margin, and has to be calculated individually using the below formula. But as a general rule of thumb, aim to be below 20 and 35%. There are 3 types of Amazon ads. First one being automatic targeting, which is the simplest one. This is where we choose our budget, our bid amount, and then let Amazon do the rest of the work. Amazon will select the keywords and product targets automatically. Then we have manual keyword targeting, which is where we choose our budget, as well as the keywords and the bid amount for each keyword manually. And lastly, we have manual product targeting, which is where we choose our budget, the product listing where we want our ad to be featured, and the bid amount. Okay, now that we understand the fundamentals, we can get to the meat of this video and start creating our ad campaigns. We're going to start with the simplest type of ad possible, which is the automatic targeting campaign. This will be phase 1 of running ads and the basis of any future campaign that we're going to run. This will allow us to gather the necessary data that we're going to use in the future in order to be more specific with our ad campaigns when we select our targets manually. Okay, in order to create an ad campaign, we go to our bookshelf and then we click on marketing. Then we select the marketplace we want to run our ads in, which is going to select the .com platform and go to Amazon ads. Okay, we'll be greeted by this ads console. If you haven't created any ads, it will be empty for you. But as you can see, I'm already running quite a few of them. In order to create a new campaign, we simply go to create campaign. So there's actually two types of campaigns we can run. One being focused around the products and the other one focusing on featuring our entire brand. To be honest with you, I've been publishing for over a year now and I've never ran a sponsored brand campaign. I always stick to the sponsored product campaigns and that worked out very well for me. I think 99% of people on Amazon only use sponsored products anyway. This is what we're going to be focusing on in this video. So we just click continue on sponsored products. Then we have an option of running a custom text ad or just a standard ad. Yet again, never use the custom text ad. Normally just stick with the standard. So we just tick that. Then we need to give our ad a name. The way I like to name my ad campaigns is to put the name of the book I'm advertising, as well as what sort of ad campaign it is, whether it's an automatic, product, or a keyword campaign, as well as the bid amount that I'm starting with. And in here, we select the product that we want to advertise and we click add. This works really well if we have products which are closely related, or if we're using a lottery campaign that I've made a video about already. So feel free to check that out as well. Okay, and we're going to be going with automatic targeting. And here we need to set our bid amount. So we're going to start with 40 cents. 40 to 50 cents is a good starting point when we're talking about coloring books. I'm not sure about other book niches. If we're not getting enough impressions, we can bump it up by a few cents. Or if we're spending too much money and our ads are not running profitably, we would then reduce the cost per click by a few cents as well. This always takes some testing and experimentation if you don't have any data to go by. As you can see here, we can utilize negative keyword targeting. So perhaps if there's a certain keyword we want to make sure ad campaign doesn't target, we can put that in here. However, I normally just skip that part. Same thing here, negative product targeting. We can add ASINs of books we don't want our ads to appear on. Yet again, we can simply skip that. Then in the bidding strategy, we're going to select dynamic bids down only. This basically means that we'll be bidding whatever our bid amount is set at, which is 40 cents or below. If we can get cheaper clicks, it will go down. However, it's not going to increase our bid amount. There's also an option to run up and down, which means the algorithm will bump our bid up to 100% in order to bid on keywords or products which are more expensive. But normally I just stick to down only. Additionally, you can stick to fixed bids, which is where it won't make any adjustments and it will bid exactly what you set it to. This is useful when you're trying to be very aggressive with your ads and you have an idea of what sort of cost per click to target. However, if you don't know and this is your first ad campaign, stick to down only. We also have an option of further customizing the bid adjustment. We can basically set it up so our bid gets bumped up if there's a good chance of us scoring a better placement. However, we don't have to utilize it either. We can simply skip that. Here we can simply paste the same name that we've put at the top for our campaign. And then the start date being today and no end date. You can set an end date if you want the campaign to finish running, or if you want it to run indefinitely, you just leave it empty. Now we need to set the daily budget. This will entirely depend on how much money you're working with. The budget you're going to assign here is basically how much you're allocating per day for the ad campaign to spend. Normally I start with around $5 to $10. However, you can absolutely start out with as low as $1 a day. So we put our budget in here and then we click launch campaign. Okay, let's take a look at the second type of campaign that we can create, which is a manual keyword targeting campaign. Just like we did with the automatic, we go to create campaign. Sponsored products, we click continue. Yet again, we choose the standard ad. For my name, I've simply put the name of the coloring book I'm going to be advertising, as well as put KW, which basically means keyword. So I know it's a manual keyword targeting campaign. And we add the book that we want to advertise and select manual targeting. Here we can choose whether we want to do keyword targeting or product targeting. In this case, we want to stick with keyword targeting. And here on the left-hand side, we're going to be greeted with a table which gives us a list of keywords that Amazon suggests that we can use for our book. What we can do is we can use the suggestions provided by Amazon, which are extracted from our book title, our description, as well as some back-end keywords. The algorithm selects a list of keywords that could potentially be a good match for our targeting, or we can go out and seek keywords ourselves. Remember how I said that automatic campaigns are the basis of all the campaigns we're going to create in the future? The best way to set up a manual keyword targeting campaign is to use our automatic campaign that we've created earlier, give it about 2 weeks to a month to run, collect the necessary data, and then we can take that data in order to use those keywords that convert well in our keyword campaign. Over here, I'm just going into my automatic campaign. Inside of the campaign, we want to go into the ad group. And then we want to click into search terms. In here, we're able to click on orders in order to sort the data by order. We click it twice. And now, as you can see at the top, we're going to have results which provided us with the most amount of orders. And then on the right-hand side, we can see the ACoS that it converted at. Okay, so in here, we're basically looking for any of the keywords that achieved a minimum of 2 orders at a profitable ACoS. What I mean by a profitable ACoS is anything below our break-even ACoS. For me, it's about 30%. As you can see, this one converts at 40% ACoS. So perhaps this is not the one I would use for my keyword targeting campaign. So I would skip that one, but we'll take this one, that one, that one. This one is 40%, so I would skip that. 35%, 33%. We could include this one. It's about the threshold of profitability. We got one at 31. 40, a bit too high. And we just make our way down the list and take all the keywords that are profitable and make a note of them. You'll see keywords which achieved maybe 1 sale, and even though the ACoS seems profitable, this is not enough data for us to be able to confirm that this is a guaranteed profitable keyword. So for now, I would leave those and let the automatic campaign keep running. If the automatic campaign is running profitably, there's absolutely no reason to stop it. What we're going to do is we're going to leave the automatic campaign running. We're going to take the data from it, and then we're going to use that data to start our keyword targeting campaign that will run alongside of the automatic one. Then once we've noted all the profitable keywords from our automatic campaign, we basically want to paste them into here, into the second tab of keyword targeting, where we can enter a list. We just paste those in, and then in here we just select exact match, because we don't want the targeting to get too broad. We want the campaign to only be matching the exact phrases or exact keywords that we've entered into here, because we've proven they're profitable and they convert really well. And then we click Add Keywords, and our keywords will appear on the right-hand side. Then the way we will determine the bid amount for every single keyword is simply to go back to the ad campaign that we've copied those keywords from, see what sort of CPC we were winning bids at, and then enter that same bid amount into our campaign over here. So if in our campaign a given keyword was converting at a CPC of 22 cents, we want to enter 22 cents in order to match that over on a new campaign. I found this to be the most effective strategy when running ads, to start with an automatic campaign, gather the relevant data, and then use that data in order to create my winning campaigns, which are targeting keywords and products manually. However, some people don't want to wait for the automatic campaign to gather the relevant data, and they like to jump straight into manual campaigns. So now I'm going to show you alternative ways of finding the data. One way of doing it is utilizing the search bar and the search suggestions that appear there. I'm using an extension called Amazon Suggestion Expander. It's a free tool which basically expands the search bar so that you can see more suggestions than you normally would. Unfortunately, to download those keywords, you need to buy the premium version of it. However, there's a workaround. So the way I get around it is by using the snipping tool. We basically take the screenshot of the data, and then we can paste this screenshot into ChatGPT and ask him to extract the text from the screenshot. As you can see here, we have it all in text format, and then you can just copy it, and then you can paste it straight into the table here. Obviously, you need to clean up the data a little bit, and then we can simply click Add Keywords. And there we go. Another alternative would be to use one of the premium keyword research tools, such as this one from Helium 10. If you have access to any of them, that's also a good option. We can simply export this data into a CSV where we can just copy and paste it into our table. And then we also have the last resort of using the suggested keywords that Amazon suggested for our book. However, if I was to choose one method, which is the most effective, it would definitely be using our automatic campaign to gather the data, because we know and we've already validated those keywords and we know they definitely work for our book. If you're using keywords that you've gathered through the search bar or perhaps through the keyword research tools, I would have all of these 3 options ticked: broad, phrase, and exact, to expand the search as much as possible, and trying to go with suggested bids to begin with. If you're using your own data that you've gathered using your automatic campaign that is validated and confirmed to be working for your book, I would only have the exact tick box ticked, because we want to narrow it down as much as possible to limit it to just those exact keywords. And then for the bid amount, I would set it manually for each individual keyword based on the historical data from our previous campaign. Okay, when you're happy with your keyword targeting, you can scroll down. Negative targeting, you can utilize it, but most of the time I just skip that part. For our bidding strategy, we want to be using down only once again. Bid adjustments for now I would leave blank. However, if in the future our ad is running really effectively and we would like to scale it, we can bump up the first column, which says top of search, in order to secure that prime spot on the top of the first page. I would say between 50 to 100% it can be a good thing to do. Then we set a name as well as a budget and we click launch campaign. The final campaign type that we can create is a manual campaign with product targeting, and we set up in the exact same fashion as we did with the keyword targeting. We click manual targeting. However, in here, instead of ticking keyword targeting, we click product targeting. And here we have two options. We either target based on category or we target individual products. I think targeting individual products is way more effective, so I wouldn't even bother with the category. It's too vague. So we want to go into individual products, and in here, Amazon will give us some suggestions that we can either go ahead with, or we can enter our own products like we did in the previous example. If we want to enter our own products to target, we go here, enter list, and in here we would have to enter the ASINs of the books we would like to target. Again, there's multiple ways of finding the ASINs of the book we want to target. The most effective way is targeting the ASINs that we've already tested and proven that work. So for that, we would go back to our automatic campaign that we've ran earlier, and hopefully here we already have some products that have been targeted in the past that have converted really well for us. As you can see here, I have quite a list of products that I can potentially target. So what we would do is we would basically grab the ASIN of that book and paste it into here. And as far as the bid amount, we would use the exact same bid that our automatic campaign used in order to win the auction when it was bidding during our automatic campaign. The beauty with this is that we already gathered the data, so we already know the bid amount that we need to go with from the get-go. So the process for setting this campaign up is exactly the same as the keyword targeting, but instead of grabbing the keywords, we grab the ASINs of the books we would like to target. An alternative to this, if we haven't gathered any data with any historical campaigns, is to simply find one of the keywords that interests us to target in our book, scroll down, and take some of the ASINs of the books which appear on the first page. I would skip all the ones which are sponsored products, but take the ASINs of some of the market leaders that we can see on the front page. They're a good starting point. I would grab a mixture of ASINs from market leaders as well as some of the weaker players that we know we definitely have a superior book to. That way we can potentially take their customers when they visit their listing, then they will see our ad and redirect into our listing and potentially convert to a sale. Another alternative to this would be to use any of the paid tools which allow you to look at competitors and the books they published in the niche in order to grab the ASINs from there. Now finally, let's talk about monitoring, optimizing, and scaling our ads. We can optimize our ads by adjusting the CPC on our ad campaigns. We lower the CPC if we are overspending, and we increase it if we would like to scale and increase the amount of impressions we are receiving. For automatic campaigns, we adjust the cost per click globally. However, in manual campaigns, we adjust the CPC individually for each individual keyword and product. If we're running out of budget, but we're profitable, we can increase the budget. By saying profitable, I don't necessarily mean profitable ACoS. To determine profitability, it's more useful to look at the overall ad spend for a given book against the overall profit from that book in each marketplace separately. Then depending on the level we would like to target, we can decide whether we are going to scale our sales or whether we want to reduce our ad spend. Normally, I like to stay within the 25 to 35% range of ad spend to profit ratio. If I'm spending less than that, I will increase my ad spend to scale. And if it's more around the 50% mark, I will consider dialing it down and then see how it affects my sales. It takes some experimentation to find the sweet spot to maximize sales versus how much you spend on ads. A lot of people will tell you to follow ACoS to determine whether you should be dialing down on your ad spend. However, that is a mistake. ACoS can appear unprofitable, but you can still be making a good amount of profit from your organic sales. If you lower your ad spend, you're also going to reduce your organic sales, as it will affect your book's ranking. Ad sales and organic sales are linked together. Don't treat them like they're separate by blindly following the ACoS values and managing your decision based on that. Always work out your profitability based on the overall ad spend against the royalties you're receiving, not the figures that you see in your ads console, as it only takes into consideration the sales achieved through ads, not the organic ones. Here's how we can troubleshoot some of the common problems people encounter when running ads. Getting low or no impressions. So there could be two things that could be contributing to this. So either your bid amount is too low, so you're not winning any bids, or you're targeting irrelevant keywords. So the solution to this is to check your targeting and or increase cost per click. Getting impressions but no clicks. That simply means your book is unattractive to customers. So the solution to this would be to improve your book listing, your cover, as well as your reviews, because these are the first two things that people see without even clicking on your listing. Getting clicks but no sales. So your book cover is attractive enough to get clicks. However, something about your product listing is scaring customers away, so they're not finalizing the purchase. The solution to this will be to improve your book listing, your description, A+, as well as your reviews. Potentially there's a negative review from the customer that's scaring people away from converting. Getting sales, but ACoS is high. So this may or may not be a problem. Sometimes ACoS will run at or just above the threshold of profitability, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're losing money running our ads, as the ads are contributing to our organic sales. So the first thing you need to do is check your ad spend for said book against the royalties you are earning, irrespective of the ACoS amount. If you're in profit, great, keep running ads. If you're not, you want to reduce your bids until your ACoS drops below the 30-35% mark, or whatever your threshold of profitability is. So if it's a manual campaign, lower the cost per click on unprofitable keywords or products. If it's an automatic campaign, you're going to have to do that globally. Unfortunately, there's no way around it. And that'll be it for this video. Hopefully I've covered any of the issues you might potentially be having with your ads. If there's anything I've missed, please let me know down in the comments and I'll do my best to get back to you. All the links to the tools showcased in this video will be in the description. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.